stay in that key for a little bit longer. My Jen, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Isn't he a wonderful God?
Amen.
And to a few people say amen. So let's correct that. Isn't he a wonderful God?
Amen.
Deserving of all praise and all of glory. Won't you help me sing this song? Because as I entered the space this morning to now listen to the prayer and listen to us at worship, and there is just a sense of awe of the amazingness of God.
Yes.
You know, you just feel like you're in the presence of something greater than the people who you're seeing, and the chairs, and the instruments, and the objects in this room. There is just a greater sense of a greater presence.
Yes.
What can wash away my sin?
Yes, sir.
Nothing but the blood of Jesus.
Yes.
And what can make me whole again?
Yes.
Oh, nothing but the blood of Jesus. Something more, isn't it? Oh, precious is the flow. Makes me once more. No other fountain I know. Nothing but the blood of Jesus. Oh, what a blood, what a Savior, nothing that makes me wise. No other, no other, no other. One more time, nothing, hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Go ahead and give the Lord a hand clap. Put your hands together for him. He is great, he is great, he is great, and worthy to be praised. You know, to listen to Esther's testimony, how difficult her week was, I had no choice but to reflect on my own week. Anybody else had a difficult week? Okay, y'all have good weeks. Y'all have good weeks. Yeah, like, I mean, y'all weeks just went smoothly, right? Everybody's weeks just went smoothly and just beautiful. But my week was going well up until about Wednesday afternoon. And don't you know sometimes your week, your day could be going well until there's one thing that shows up everything else. And that was my week. It was going well, it was going well, it was going well, it was rich, it was always exciting. And the devil sometimes creeps into your life, and you might have to fight different fights in different contests. Sometimes those challenges come from your job. Sometimes the hardest things to fight when the enemy presents them are the ones that are in your family. Okay, y'all didn't hear me. The ones that are in your family, the ones that are not necessarily your home, but in your family.
Yeah.
And so I had to have a very difficult conversation this week with my brother. Been up to last night, and it really, really, really bad. I mean, bad. Y'all have a great sibling relationship. But this is one of my lovely brothers. I love him with all my heart. But last night we had a conversation that ended really, really, really bad. But one of the beautiful things about entering into the Sabbath, entering into a space of worship, you're also entering into a space of healing.
Yes.
You're also entering into a space of healing. And I'm here today with a sense of anticipation as well for what God is doing in this space. And so never take for granted the time we have to worship together, because something powerful is happening. And so I don't know what you're going through, but don't leave without that healing. Don't leave without letting God know exactly what's on your heart. Yes, He knows what's on your heart, but He loves to hear you talk.
Yeah.
He loves to hear you talk. So I'm excited to be here. I know you want to hear the word, and I believe God has a word for you. Somebody say word. Word. Before I dive into this, I've been in, and I've had the chance to be in a number of spaces and places to hear about MyGeneration. And good words. Nothing bad. I've never heard anything bad about MyGeneration. And I've had the honor of hearing the vision and mission for this body of people articulated in different spaces. And I'm just really excited to be here. Pastor Francois is a good guy.
Amen.
I got two events going on.
Amen.
I will leave right now. And call him. But he's a great guy. I love him. He's a good friend of mine. And I believe in what God has called him to do. And every living thing he talks about is MyGeneration. So I know he loves you guys, and he loves the mission here. But as I also had the chance to think through and reflect on the word for today, as I God would have me share with you, he brought me over to a passage in the book of the Kings, 2 Kings, chapter 6. 2 Kings, chapter 6. And verse 1 through to 7. You may turn there on your devices or in your Bibles if you do have them. I'm going to read from the New English Translation. I like that translation. It's more an exegetical translation, but it is a beautiful translation nonetheless. 2 Kings chapter 6, verse 1 through to 7. There is a very interesting thing happening in this passage, but I want you to stay in the passage for as long as you can before we get to the meat. You are going to be tempted to interpret the passage in a certain way, but I'm going to ask you to delay your temptation to interpret the passage, but to wait for the application. Can you do that? Can you commit to that?
Yes.
Amen. Now, before we also get into there, how many of you have felt like you need to move from where you are?
Every day, all day.
Yeah, I know I would have had at least one witness. But how many of you have felt as if where you are is just not good enough anymore?
Every day, all day.
And so God is saying to you that I have greater plans for you. I have a greater purpose for you. How many of you have felt that you've been living below your potential? You've been living below God's ambition for your life, but you are settling for something else. So stay with me in the passage. Don't be tempted to rush its interpretation. When you're there, say amen. 2 Kings chapter 6, verse 1 through to 7. I'll read for you. 2 Some of the prophets said to Elisha, look, the place where we meet with you is too cramped for us. Let's go to the Jordan. Each of us will get a log from there, and we will build a meeting place for ourselves there. He said, go. One of them said, please come along with your servants. He replied, all right, I'll come. So he went with them. When they arrived at the Jordan, they started cutting down trees. As one of them was felling a log, the axe head did what? Dropped into the water. He shouted, oh no, master, man of God. It was borrowed. It was what? Borrowed. It was borrowed. The prophet asked, where did it fall in? When he showed him the spot, Elisha cut off a branch, threw it in at that spot, and made the axe head float. He said, lift it out. So he reached out his hand and grabbed it. I want to talk to you on this subject this morning, this afternoon. I need more room. I need more room. Look at yourself, and touch yourself and say, self, I need more room. Okay, here this side, here this side. Let's go. I need more room. More room. Pray with me. Father, we are in your presence, discussing your word, seeking your direction. Speak now, we pray in Jesus' name. Amen. The passage before us is a very interesting one. A very short passage. I call it a pocket rocket, because it is intentionally structured grammatically, and its structure is intentional. 119 words approximately, and you wonder why focus on this kind of passage this morning. It's just 119 words. But it is intentionally packaged in this way to give us an idea of what I would call a sense of what it means to grow, a sense of what it means to trust in God, and a sense of what it means to be led by God, and a sense of what it means to be prospered by God. Mr. Francois. So here is the passage that the Bible records that they're at Gilgal. Gilgal, as we review from the biblical text, Gilgal is a place where God had frequented in the past. Whenever you read Gilgal in the biblical text, it is always accompanied by something miraculous, something great. And so in essence, they're at a place of divine significance, right? They're at a place where God is familiar, and they're familiar with God showing up. They're at this place, and it's so fruitful, it's such a wonderful thing happening here, that the ministry of Elisha had begun to grow. Had begun to what? Grow. Stay in the passage. Had begun to grow, to go leaps and bounds, so much so that where they were became crowded. Notice that they're experiencing not birth pains, but growth pains. It is because they are being blessed, it is because they are being furnished, and the presence of God is with them, why this request even came into existence. Stay in the passage. Are you in the passage? Stay in the passage. But while they were growing and experiencing this growth pains, Ryan, they had a problem. It was the overwhelming consensus that though it is an honor to be at this place called Gilgal, though it is an honor to be at this place that God has provided for them, though it is an honor to be at a place where God is with them and God is present with them, their concern was where they were, their location was not compatible anymore with their vocation. There's a problem. Because their location limited the potential to which they were able to experience God. Amen. Their location disadvantaged their giftedness, and their location crippled their enthusiasm. Their location could not capacitate the vision of God. Stay in the passage. So from a place of frustration and fatigue, they realized that the only way to change their situation is to move. The disciples declared, Master, I have a concern, I have a challenge. You see, the place where we meet with you is too narrow. In order for us to fully experience God, we need to move. No, not to renovate, not to expand, but we need a divine plan to move. Are you with the passage? Yeah. Notice that he's not asking for change. They're asking for growth. They're not asking for a difference. They're asking for more growth. They're asking for more of God. They're asking for more power. They're asking for more revelation. They're asking for more authority. They're asking for more territory. They're asking for more miracles. They're asking for more audacity. And they're asking for more grace from God. Stay in the passage. You see, I'm of the opinion that though they were at Gilgal, the people and the prophets were not limiting God to Gilgal. For they recognized that though they were at a place where God showed up in the past, God is not confined to a location. Though God blessed them in the past, God is not confined to that blessing, because God is ever searching and ever reaching into new spaces, new arenas and new areas, and reaching for new eras to bless His people. So I'm of the opinion that there is a fundamental challenge to how we grow. There's a fundamental challenge to how you and I experience God more and more. And the challenge is, we oftentimes lack the precursing condition necessary for growth. What did I say? We lack the precursing condition necessary for growth. What is the precursing condition? That is the condition where we fail to realize that the signs have given us enough clues for us to move. We fail to recognize that where we are cannot capacitate the authority of God anymore. We're still in the passage. So some of us find ourselves stuck in places, at spaces, in relationships, in situations that cripples our potential. Well, you're not with me, you don't let me preach. We find ourselves in intoxicating, life-draining, and energy-sucking situations, not because we want to be there, but we fail to realize that God has a plan for you not to be there anymore. Okay, you're not with me. You're not with me. We fail to feel the urgency to move from our circumstance, even when God is saying, I no longer desire for you to stay here.
Repeat that.
Some of you find yourselves stuck in jobs that feels more like detention rather than a place of productivity and contribution. You don't want me to preach this?
Speak it.
Some of you find yourselves stuck with bosses not because you cannot do better, not because you don't have potential in yourself, but not because you're not called to be more, but you have settled for where you are. You have become complacent and satisfied with your inconsistency, satisfied with the crowdedness, even though you're at a place where you're not being productive and you're not meeting your God-given potential. You choose to stay. You fail to recognize that the signs have given you enough clue that you need to move. We find ourselves stuck in jobs that feels more like parole labor rather than a place of contribution. We find ourselves stuck in places that we no longer want to be, that causes us to affect other relationships that we are in. So you leave your job and you leave your confines and you go home and you take it out on your spouse because you no longer want to be who you are. We also fail to move into the era and the arena of the spaces that God intends to bless us when we choose to stay where we are. We fail to acknowledge that God has plans to bless us far exceeding more than we could ever ask or imagine. We fail to recognize that God's plan is bigger than our location, bigger than our immediate circumstances. We fail to recognize that God has plans for you that's bigger than your location, bigger than where you currently are. Touch your neighbor and say, neighbor, I need more room. Come on, somebody, you're not even with me. I need more room. I have about 2 people that's with me, but that's fine. I know you're hearing me now, but you'll be listening to me later. But here's the first part I want you to hear this afternoon. You cannot become what you need to be by remaining where you are. I want to say that again for somebody. I need to probably speak to the folk who are online here. But you cannot become what you need to be by remaining where you are. Amen. John F. Kennedy said it this way: there are risks and costs to a program of action, but they are far less than the long-range risks and costs of comfortable inaction. I want to say that again. Yes, there are risks and costs to a program of action, any program of action. But they are far less than the long-range cost and risk of a comfortable inaction. Ron Osborne said this: unless you do something beyond what you've already mastered, you will never grow. Unless you do something beyond what you've already mastered, you will never grow. I just asked you a few minutes ago if you never felt that God has more plans for you than you're currently experiencing, and or that you're living below your potential. You said yes, but you've got to understand, unless you are prepared to do something beyond what you've already done and beyond where you currently are, you'll never be able to experience the potential that God has for you.
Amen.
He says to me, Preacher, how do I know that I need more room? It gets tricky after this point. How do I know that I need more room? Well, let's take this for example. If you're in a relationship and you're the one that's doing 90% of the work, you need more room. If you're finding that your own spiritual life is being weakened and unchallenged, then you need more room. If you find that you are frustrated with where you are, fatigued by where you are, then you need more room. If you no longer have passion and drive and enthusiasm and excitement to do the thing that you are doing, then you need more room. If you find a burden, a laborious and a treacherous, miserable burden, depressing burden to do the thing that you are doing, then you need. Okay, let's move on because we have to finish this thing. Your decision to move, therefore, is directly proportional to your discomfort with where you are currently. Yes. Your decision to move is directly proportioned, measured by your discomfort with your present situation. You will never move until you've decided in your mind that enough is enough. You will never move until you decide that you will not endure this any longer, not another day, not another moment, not another day, not another second, until you've decided that you've had enough, and today, this moment is the moment when you've endured the last bit. You will never move from where you are. What you always do, therefore, is find a reason to stay in your circumstance. You always find a reason to rationale why you should be here. Yeah, so you say, well, it's not totally bad, it's just difficult. Or you might say, well, the relationship is better than others. I know some people who are going through worse. Come on, I might not talk to the truth here. It's not bad, at least I'm not doing this. It's not bad, at least I'm not doing that. And so you say, well, if it's not broke, don't fix it. But it doesn't have to be broke for you to move on from it. It might not necessarily be working anymore. Some of y'all are looking at me like that.
Very true.
No, some situations don't need fixing. They need to be moved on from. I want to move on just because you're having that huge challenge. This is where it gets messy. Because the Bible says that they did move to Jordan. And the beautiful thing about this passage here is all of this is a demonstration from God as to what happens when you trust Him to move. When you trust Him to move into a space that He has called you to be, the question therefore becomes, how will God take care of you? So if you stay where you are because you don't seem to have a clear plan, and you don't seem to have a clear directive as to what you will do and how God will show up. But the intent here is for you not to know the details, but for you to trust the Lord. So I always say, never be afraid to trust the unknown future to a known God.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah, never be afraid to trust the unknown to a known God. To not know the future is not enough for you not to trust God. So we do this morning here at MyGeneration.
Right.
I just said, to not know the future is not a good enough reason for you not to move forward. Man, I need to say it again. To not know the future, let me speak to somebody. To not know the future is not enough for you not to trust the Lord, because you know why? You serve a God who knows the future from the beginning. He knows the beginning from the end, because He's the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last, and nothing misses His eye. You can trust the Lord in spite of. But here's the question. What happens when I move from my place of safety into a place of the unknown? Recognize that they had a plan of action. For they said, well, let's go to Jordan, and every man there will take a log and we will build. So they said, let's move from the mountain. Let's go into the valley, therefore, where it's more fruitful, where it's more beautiful, and where it's more active, gives access to everything else in the society. This is where it gets messy. Elisha says, okay, cool. We'll move. When they got there, the Bible says that the young disciples borrowed an axe. Understand that to have an axe in those days is a very prized tool, because that is the means by which you earn your livelihood. That is the means by which you build your homes and you exist. Therefore, to not have such a tool is a very, very serious problem. He borrowed the man's tool, and while using the tool, he lost the man's axe. This is important because he recognizes that not only his vision and his future has been compromised, but he's compromised the future of another person. Recognize what he did next. He didn't just pretend as if the axe wasn't on the stick in the first place, but he recognized the pain of what he has done, and he cried, "Oh man of God, I've lost the axe head, and it is borrowed." He recognized that the instrument that he was given, that was entrusted to him, was a very precious instrument. I want to say this to you. Remember that we're in a space where we're trying to figure out what happens when we move from a place of comfort. Sometimes you have to be careful who you lend your axe to. Yeah. I'm coming to you in a minute. See, you're hearing me, but you're going to be listening to me later. You've got to be careful who you lend your precious prizes and goods to. It might not necessarily be appreciated. Yes, I'm saying those who us or in relationships, sometimes you got to be careful how you lend your love, how you lend the things that are precious to you, and how you lend the things that are valuable to you. And as I look in this room, I know what it means and what it feels like to lose your asset. To lose a thing that was designed to make you productive. To lose a thing that was designed to make you creative. And to lose a thing that was designed to cause you to prosper. So what happens in this scenario when you lose a thing that was designed to bless you? When you lose a thing that was designed to cause you to be productive? There are two things that's happening here. And then I'm going to sit down. God is designing this situation to prove to you and I what happens when we trust Him to move forward. When we trust Him to do the unthinkable, when we trust Him to move from the comfort zones and into those spaces of complexities. Notice that by them moving, they moved into a space where they could experience the power and miracle of God. If they had stayed where they were, they would have missed the opportunity to experience this kind of miracle. Are you still with me? So what will happen to you? God, in this moment and this space where they have moved into this new era, there are two things that God is proving and providing to His people. The first thing here is, when you trusted God to move into that space that He has called you to, whatever you need, He will provide. Yes. You know, yes. Whatever you need, He will provide. Even if it means sending a stranger to bless you with exactly what you need. Amen. The second thing that is being proven here, being demonstrated in this text here, and we love, this is one of the beautiful things I love about this passage, because what happens with the accent is perfectly natural. It's perfectly natural what happened to the accident because gravity, as the law that God instituted, took over and acted according to how they were supposed to act. Correct? For that which is heavy sinks when it is left in the air. So it is unnatural, therefore, for an accident to float. It is natural what happened to the accident. But what is unnatural is for that accent to return from the surface of the pond from the bottom of the pond to the surface of the water. Oh, y'all not with me this morning. So God is proving two things here. That in the moments that you have moved into a space that I have called you and commanded you to move, recognize that I have the ability to bless you with exactly what you need. But in those moments, if you lose what I blessed you with, I have the ability to reverse what has happened unto you. Oh, y'all are with me this morning. I have the ability to bless you in the absence of and also in the presence of. And
Yes.
I'm going to sit down.
No.
Just go right home. And I feel that in this space there are some of you who are having a difficulty trusting God, having a difficulty trusting Him to move, and having a difficulty trusting Him and wondering whether should I move or whether should I stay where I am. But God is saying to you, I have plans to bless you far more than you could ever ask or imagine, far more than you could ever think, far more than you could ever dream, only if you trust me. I will bless you even from the most unlikely places. I will bless you even from your enemies, for He will provide and prepare a table for you where? In the presence of your enemies. That means whatever God has intended for you and whatever He has planned for you, all you have to do is to trust Him to provide it, and He will. Can I get an amen in this church?
Yes.
You can trust the Lord to do exactly what He said He will do. Oh, you're hearing me now, but you're listening to me here. You can trust Him to do exactly that which He says He will do. God is saying, I've got you on both ends. Whatever you need, I'll provide.
Amen. Absolutely.
Even from the most unlikely circumstances and places. Whatever you need, I'll provide.
Amen.
And in those cases that you might have lost something, I have the ability to reverse the conditions of that which is natural so that you might experience the supernatural. This is big, this is huge, this is huge, this is huge. You see, oftentimes we miss the opportunity to experience these wonderful miracles because we become complacent in where we are.
Absolutely.
We stay where we are. God is saying to you, I have greater plans for you. I have greater ambitions for you. I have greater desires for you. But you've got to recognize this. You've got to recognize this. I'm going to say that again. You have got to recognize. Looking at you in this space, and I could tell that some of you are saying, God, you know I need more room.
Oh, perfect. Yes.
God, you know I need a new space. You know I need more room in my own spiritual life. I need more room in my career. I need more room in my finances. I need more room in my relationship. I need more room in my emotional stability. I need more room in my sense of identity. I need more room in my self-esteem. I need more room in your authority. I need more room. God is saying, all you have to do is trust me. Trust me. Just trust me. You don't have to have it all figured out. But you can trust Him. Coming on. Young men, they simply said, Elisha, where we are is too small, too straight, it's too narrow, it's crowded. And some of you are feeling that way at your jobs. It's too crowded. You're feeling that way about your own finances because there's so much happening in your own finances that you feel as if you need more space in there. Struggling to pay the bills and struggling to make ends meet. And it just seems crowded month after month. And there's so much demand on you. You know that God is calling you. You know that there is greatness for you, but it just feels so tight. Recognize this, that they said, let's go over to Jordan. And what we'll do there is we'll just all get along and we'll just all start building. They haven't had it all figured out. They haven't had it all figured out. They don't have the details. They do not have the details. But what they had was enough. What they had was the unction deep within them that God is calling them to more. That was it. That was it. That was it. I said that was it. That was all they had. The unction that God is calling them to more. It wasn't a power move. It was a God 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 move. I want to challenge you today to make a God move. Make a big move. Make a God move. Make a God move in your own life, in your own relationship, in your own context. Make a God move and see what God does. This place at Jordan is in the scripture because they made a God move. Generations testified of this experience because somebody said, let's make a God move. What God move do you need to make this afternoon? What God move, what big move is God calling you to make today? Father, God, these conversations are difficult. And these spaces are even more challenging. Because it means, therefore, that we're going to have to look at some things face to face. It means that we're going to have to be honest. And we're going to have to look at the thing and say, it's not working anymore. God, we also recognize what that means and what that does to us inside. Because while we recognize that, we also realize that there's a feeling of anxiety deep within us. Because now we're stepping into the unknown. We're stepping into a place that we've never been before. But God, you never fail. You never fail. You've always been on time with us. You've always been perfectly on time with us. And you've always proven your faithfulness and commitment to us. You never left us, God. You've always been there, even when we cannot see the signs or the evidences, but you've always been there. And so God, in this moment, I want to pray for somebody who's in this room struggling with that decision of how much to trust you in this time and how much to let go in this season. God, help that person to recognize that trusting you means winning. Trusting you and letting you be God means winning. That there is no failure in you, God. But giving it over to you means certainty, assurance, and confidence. Means safety, God, and power and authority. Trusting you is winning. So God, I pray that as your people today prepare to move from their places of Gilgal, move into the spaces of Jordan, whatever those are, that you will show yourself and reveal yourself to them. That you will be the God who they've trusted and loved to commit themselves to. I pray, God, that you will provide for them and prove great miracles on their behalf. I pray, God, that there will never be want for anything, but every step of the way, whatever they need, you will provide. Whatever they lose along the way, God, that you do your thing and have the authority to reverse that which is lost. We will be careful, God, to give you all the praise, all the glory, for you deserve it. We thank you. We thank you in advance because we pray in Jesus' name.